This is Tabletop Time, the show where we talk about our personal hobbies and also any hobby news.
Yes, that's right. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about commission painting. Is it worth it? Is it something that you can get into? We're going to talk about the pros and the cons.
And there isn't much news today, spoilers, but there is something that we are both extremely excited about, but more on that later.
But first, I need a coffee.
Everyone in this place needs a coffee.
Oh, fantastic. The coffee machine's fixed. Now I can have a coffee. Oh, there's no milk. I'm gonna have to go get some.
It's another miserable day to be a dairy farmer. Yeah.
Oh, you're a dairy farmer. Please tell me you sell milk.
Fresh milk you want straight from the source, $5.
Is it good for coffee?
Oh, it's great for coffee, but you want to try our cover cow fed diet on the coffee beans. Just swipe the cow.
Sounds great.
No, that one's a steer. Cheers, lady.
That's good cow coffee. That was good cow coffee.
What? Okay.
So something I wanted to talk about in today's video was commission painting. And if people don't know what commission painting is, it's this very sort of, I'd say it's almost niche in the hobby.
This is outsourcing your painting if you don't want to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And like working at the store, we do get people that come in majority of the time that are like, I want to get into Age of Sigmar, 40k, whatever it may be. But I don't want to paint the minis, which I find really fascinating because they come into a hobby store and I'm like, why would you not want to paint minis?
We are into painting, so it does make sense for us. But most people just want to play a game.
Yeah.
And like, hey, chess piece, I don't have to paint that, I don't care.
Yeah.
They just want to play the thing. So there's all this hassle of some people don't like building, some people only like building, some people don't want to paint, some people, it's all they want to do. The gaming is just sort of a bit on the end that's kind of fun. But yeah, some people just want to skip all those steps and be like, who will do the thing for me?
Yeah, exactly. In this circumstance, I have a friend that wanted to get into Warhammer 40k. So I'll kind of share that story to kind of get perspective on how I started this process. And I asked if she would like her stuff to be commission painted as sort of a project for this video. And then I'd love to ask you, Murray, as someone who has done commission painting before, what it's like.
Well, a pain in the butt usually. Purely because when you're starting out, you don't know what you're doing. You really don't, and therefore you undersell yourself criminally. And I have done that a lot. I think I told someone that I'd paint their legit Warhound Titan for like 120 bucks, and also build the thing, magnetize the arms so they could be swapped around.
Wow.
Like heavy machinery from Dad's shed was involved. Like I had to pin it using dowel.
Yeah, wow.
Because I built a base for it and then magnetized the arms because there's a ball socket joint, but the guns are solid resin. I came up with this, I engineered this 3-point magnetized system on the ball socket to like solidly lock in so the magnet just go there was a lot of work.
Yeah, it sounds like
I was like $120, haha, thank you.
They got a steal out of that then.
Something a bit more approachable. I was just like, $40 for 10 Space Marines painted. That's barely the time to undercoat and prime them, really.
That's it.
So there's this mentality where you want to feel approachable and you want to get business, so you sort of sell yourself short, and then you also like, maybe I'm not the best painter or whatever, so you sell yourself short even further. But really, you need to take a bit of pride. You need to make your client feel that you are worth the time. And also, something that I learned is that I was like, cool, I'll paint people's characters. That's what they want. They'll want a really nice painted character to lead their army. No, they couldn't give 2 squats. They want someone to paint all 90 chaff infantry in their army. So that's basically what I ended up doing, and I hated it.
So basically, like I said before, I have a friend, she wanted to get into Warhammer 40k, you know this friend as well. We all bought combat patrols and got really excited, and so she bought one too, and she bought the Thousand Suns combat patrol, which we didn't sort of know until I think she rocked up with everything pre-built, and we went, oh my god, the combat patrol for Thousand Suns is incredibly difficult to play.
TLDR, Thousand Suns is sort of like engage brain, everything else is sort of move forwards and shoot.
Yeah.
So for someone learning the game and really want to do the minimal amount of investment in the game, oopsie. However, we did tell her to pick the one she thought looked coolest. We just had not checked out the new Thousand Suns rules. That's on us.
Yeah, 100%. So she played her first game and she decided she didn't like it, but she she did sort of half start painting her army, and I helped her in picking what colors she wanted. This is before I asked if she wanted me to help commission paint her. The first step that we did was we talked about what colors we wanted the Space Marine to be, and she wanted Barbie pink. That was her theming.
Yeah.
She just wanted it all to be pink, which I thought was amazing.
Yeah, that's cool.
So me as a painter, I kind of went, okay, so we know pink is the main color. What is the accent color, like a secondary color we want to use? What metallics do we want to use? Their eyes and stuff like that. Got to have a little palette sort of laid out. So I don't know if there's a process in order to make this easier if you're a commission painter, like if you have like a template to be like, tell me like these are the specific colors I need in order to get started, or do you just kind of be like, send me a reference photo or a mood board?
Generally, yeah, someone will have hopefully an idea, like they'll have seen the movie and it's like, cool, I want it painted like Buzz Lightyear or whatever. You have that, or you can be like, okay, what are you thinking? Sort of like what moods or themes, and you'll go away and you'll come back with like a mood board or something. They'll pick something sort of thing. Otherwise, you will sit through with them and pick colors and hues and accents and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, there is sort of that design phase of like bouncing back and forth, brainstorming and deciding what they want. And then at the end, you sort of come forth with like a proof of concept, and then you sort of go from there. Usually it's sort of a thumbs up, all right, off you go, crack the whip and start painting the thing.
Yeah, exactly. So in her circumstance, she had contrast painted everything in the dark pink contrast paint, this voluptuous pink or something like that.
Good color actually.
Yeah, really, really nice. It's the one I recommended to her to start off with. So because she already started that part of her journey, I just went ahead and for my test model, I did the same thing. I coated it in the contrast paint just to kind of have that same starting point for all of it. She also mentioned she built everything in her combat patrol, and this is another question I had. Do you typically have people that either bring you their models built or bring you the kit, or do they pay for you to go buy the kit?
It can be a combination or a mixture of any of those.
Okay.
I've had people just hand me a box. If you get that, make sure that, you're charging, like, I need to build this, it's going to take time. Account for that. Otherwise, I've had people hand me models that have already been painted and like, redo it please. Just sort of like, do you want me to strip it or not? Again, account for that. Talk to them about it. You establish every step basically, and not just be like, well, now I have to work out how to strip these and if I can. But if they've sort of built them all and they just give it to you, that's probably the best scenario, even before they're primed, because then you have control over that.
Yeah.
I mean, some people can do a good job, but sometimes you go, or what did they do? They used enamel spray paint or something.
Yeah, 100%. So in this circumstance, I decided to build up just a separate Space Marine. I didn't touch any of her stuff because exactly that, I wanted to present a proof of concept before I touched any of her stuff, so she could be like, all good, let's go ahead with it.
Yeah, exactly, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so this is the guy I'm painting up today. It's just a typical Space Marine, and I gave him really generic looking stuff, so then no matter what the other variants had, I could still incorporate all of the colors in different sort of...
Yeah, you got the baseline and have covered all grounds.
Exactly, yeah. So I went ahead and started painting this up, again keeping with the pink, which was the feature color that she wanted to use for the army. I found a more bronzy gold that I thought worked really well with the Warband tones, and then also used white as well, because I thought pink and white is very Barbie and very like feminine as well, so that was kind of what she wanted to go for.
Yeah, that works with other, like Emperor's Children also do that sort of the pinky purple, silver and white.
Yes.
I think. Yeah, so it's an established thing.
Yeah, kind of like Empress Children in a way, but like, yeah, slightly different. It's kind of a more, kind of old school Empress Children, like the Noise Marine style. Yeah. Which is great. I think to have a color palette that still looks normal within the 40k universe. I mean, Space Marines can be any color these days. I don't think there's a rhyme or reason to it. But I still wanted to not look super stand-out-ish, but still be the color that she wanted, if that makes sense. So then moving forward, I was really happy with how this guy was looking and how all the colors were mixing together. The last thing I need to add was a special accent color for his eyes and his gun, and she asked for an orangey yellow. So I just did a quick contrast with that to make sure it was on there. And this is what he is turning out like.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, I find there's always a spot, no matter how thorough you've been, you sort of go, painted a few things and you're like, oh crap, a plasma gun or something. What color do you want your plasma coils or something? And they're like, And you're like, please, I need something.
That's it. And so this guy is not based. I also asked her how she would want it based, and she wasn't too sure. I kind of said I'd happy to do it on sand or something like that to make it pretty generic and kind of Thousand Sunsy still, because
I know this color scheme is pretty based. That looks really good actually.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. I haven't painted pink in a very long time, but I actually really like it. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
so that's kind of proof of concept for this guy. So once I've based him, I will show her and see how she feels about it. And then I would make changes from there, because I think I've shown her halfway through this. I sent her a photo to just make sure we were going on the right track. And she was like, yep, cool, all good. And then I sent her one without the orange, and she was like, yep, put the yellow orange on it. So I think as long as you get that approval throughout the process of them being happy, you know, that ultimately the outcome is going to be good. Because I'd be surprised if she turned around and said, no, I hate it.
Yeah, constant updates are also usually really appreciated. Unless the client knows you, it can be really nice to just sort of get that constant flow of, you know, this is how things are progressing. It's both good for the client, but also if you as the artist can be prone to sort of letting things slide a bit, you know, the ADHD is going off on a tangent, it can really help force you into sort of guilt tripping you a bit into like, hey, I need to send something to the client. Show that I'm actually working on this. So yeah, that's really good.
So the final thing I kind of wanted to talk about was pricing. So you mentioned before how you would kind of charge for things. And
you mean how crap I am? Yeah.
But in this day and age where I think we're all trying to find like a side hustle to do you think you can make money off of doing commission painting?
I would say, at least starting out, probably charge an amount basically where you'd be happy to work at a regular job, basically. That's a good standard. Like, you can do like small favors, or like, hey, I can paint like that model for you, you know, $20 will be a bit of fun. Sure, that's fine. But if you're gonna start painting like unit squads or even whole armies, you need to decide what you're worth and what you're going to invest into it. Honestly, once you get a bit of experience under your belt, I would say basically charge for the price of the boxed model. Like if a squad or something costs $90, probably charge $90.
Okay.
Because if they don't want to do it at all, I mean, $90 is also probably still selling yourself short, because the next thing you need to do is work out to what level of quality they wanted this painted.
Yes.
And therefore how much time you need to invest into it.
And then your own paints and brushes and stuff as well, because would you charge them for that, or would you keep that like as your own personal budget, I suppose?
If they want you to paint a certain way and you don't have the paints, probably just work it out with them.
Sure, yeah.
Like if you want to add the paints to your collection or not.
Yeah. Or give them the paints maybe afterwards if you finish the army. So then you're like, if you do want to do stuff yourself or commission someone else, at least you've got that afterwards, I suppose.
Yeah, but in terms of the time, like some of you may have balked like, oh, $90 to paint a squad of 10 guardsmen or something. Whoa, that's a lot. But if you're going to spend more than 3 to 4 hours painting 10 guys, you've already almost lost money sitting there painting it.
Yeah, I think, and it's the same with graphic design or any type of creative art and trying to charge for it, it does come down to time. How much time did it take you to do this? And I would say this is like tabletop standard for me. Like, this is really nice. Visually, it's quite striking. I could put a lot more effort into it, but for a Space Marine, that's really not worth it. Again, we'll probably talk about like bigger pieces.
Yeah, or like characters, like that's where you put the effort. Yeah,
100%. So this for me is like a good standard, and I would say this probably took me around 4 to 5 hours, and it would be faster once I've established it. So knowing the colors I've used, how I've applied the paint, where it goes, obviously from then on it gets faster and faster because I can batch paint them all really quickly. Well, this guy took a bit longer because I had to be like, oh, I don't know if I like this here.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so you have to kind of think about how long it takes you to paint something.
And if you're going to expand that to like painting a whole army, you can expedite the whole thing by using an airbrush to base coat everything. That can save a lot of time. Then you can start highlighting everything and shading, etc., etc. But yeah, it is a whole process, and usually a lot more than you initially think goes into the process. If anyone wants to like dabble, it's something that I would highly recommend, even just for your friend or something. I've painted D&D monsters and characters for friends. They get them 3D printed or buy them, and like, I'll paint some of them, you know, throw me some money and I'll paint them. It's pretty easy, pretty accessible, and if you're playing in that friend group, it helps get painted models on the table, so that's always a win.
Yes, I think to answer the question, it's like you could make a little bit of money from it if you are more of an established painter and you can get commissions in. I guess that's another thing too, is the reliability of getting clients could be diminished a little bit because you maybe have a really small friendship group, so it's worth outsourcing to like Facebook or Discord groups and trying to get it that way. But then you kind of have this weird hurdle, which is trying to get clients from international or from far away. So it's like they'd have to ship everything out. It's another extra cost that you need to do as well. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like you can absolutely start this up as a side hustle, but I think you have to find value in painting. I don't think you're gonna make a big bucks off of miniature painting, but I do think that you could maybe make a little bit bit of money, but you'd also be working towards an ultimate goal, which would be becoming a better miniature painter.
Yeah, totally. You will quickly improve your own skills and also your own time management, of course, going through it, or at least work out what your issues are with time management, that's for sure. And I think the most important takeaway is that it's not a procedure of, oh, this person that I know of did this, and this. If you're going to become a commission painter, you're going to enter your own journey to find out what works for you, because it's an artistic endeavor, therefore it is not sort of a day job sitting at a desk. It is an artistic endeavor, and you need to work out what works for you. So, there will be ups and downs, but usually it's pretty rewarding.
What do you think would be the best way to advertise yourself for miniature painting? Like when it comes to commission for like digital art and stuff, obviously like Tumblr back in the day used to be a great resource, but I feel like social media is starting to sort of has very narrow gaps. There's very limited places that you can advertise yourself. Do you have any that you would recommend?
I would definitely say start out small, advertise locally if there's a local games shop, talk to people there, the store owner.
Yeah.
You could make your own sort of like flyers or things, ask if you can have them hung up around the place. You can sort of look online, sort of advertise around.
I suppose we've seen a bunch of Squidmart videos and they use Fiverr a lot for their stuff
Yeah,
too. So
yeah,
Fiverr
exactly.
is actually probably another really good place to do it. Just with Fiverr, make sure, again, it comes back to the whole, you got to make sure you charge what you're worth. Even if you're not getting jobs, don't lower your value because of that. Make sure you stay to your value.
Not only are you trying to attract that market to yourself, but you also want to say that, I believe that I am worth this, and then charge accordingly. Or rather, I think my time is worth this, which is important both for you as an artist, but also to establish for the customer. So they think, oh, they think they're worth this. And then it's down to them to decide whether or not they want to pay for it, basically. At least that's the point to which I've come to believe. Some people might have very different thoughts. If you're a commissioned painter, by all means, tell us in the comments if you have similar opinions.
Yeah, absolutely. And to extend onto that, if you would like to share any information as well, if you are a commission painter and we've missed something or there's something you'd like to talk about, please leave a comment below because we'd love to hear from you. This is just the perspective of someone that's trying it for the first time and someone that's done it before. But I'm really interested in it because I just think that, I don't know, painting minis is a lot of fun, but getting paid to paint minis in this economy,
it's something.
Yeah, exactly.
There's something that we want to talk about that's in the news.
Oh, yes. I actually have something that is Warhammer related, but it's a small tidbit that I want to bring up. And I know everyone has felt my pain, but I felt it hard this week. Like, so mad. Dark Elder novel came out for pre-order this past weekend. It was for Lilith Hesperax. Has a novel coming out, yeah?
Okay.
It was limited edition. It's gorgeous, absolutely stunning. It's got the signature from the author. The cover is beautiful. As soon as this got announced on Warcom, I was like, I'm putting it in my calendar. I'm gonna be there on the website. Now I work on Saturdays, right? But I still had it up, ready to go. And I checked every hour when it was gonna be live. And I was like, all right. It got to, I think it was 11 past 12. And I went and logged on and it was sold out. And it went live at 12. I know, because I checked every hour. It didn't go up any earlier, and it was sold out already.
Really?
I know I'm not the first person to feel this pain. A lot of people, like I know you as well, have tried to get these limited edition books. In
Not even limited edition, just normal edition.
Just the
Just
books.
give me book with paper.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it's just really sad because I was really looking forward to this. As someone who's loved Dark Art for such a long time, I really, really wanted this, and I missed out by like 10 minutes, essentially. Just sucks. So my plea to Games Workshop is please fix your system, because I'm not the only one. There are so many people, especially with like the Ed and the Death, that it was an absolute mess. Like,
yeah, I got a notification from a book site that I ordered from in the last month. So I ordered that like last year. So oh yeah, here's your refund.
no.
Been waiting all this time.
Oh, that's awful. So that was my little shame of the weekend. I really wanted that novel, didn't get it. It's fine. I saved $100, I guess, at the end of the day. I'll just go listen to it as an ebook if I have to.
Yeah, that's the issue. I think they sort of realized that, hey, we can save on manufacturing costs by just releasing an ebook, which I hate because I like paper. I like physically reading a book, enjoy seeing it on a bookcase when I'm done. I just want the thing. I'm also the sort of person who goes out trying to find Horus Heresy books. That can be a nightmare. I have, in fact, succumbed to just like, I cannot find this. I'm not paying $120 for a novel. So I have started reading ebooks because I have basically no choice.
Yeah.
But
And-
it still sucks.
And allegedly, if it's scalpers, right, that are buying these books, like I'm just saying allegedly because I don't know. I don't want to promote that experience by buying it from a scalper. Like that just feeds the issue that's happening. I'd rather just miss out entirely than having that become the norm, so to speak. So I'm very sad that I missed out. I'll be okay. I will cope. I will move on. It's fine. It'll come out in ebook form, and I will listen to it. But I'm a little bit sad. But that being said, my week was made due to the release that's coming out.
Yes, another book, technically.
Yes, true. I'll probably miss out this one too, but it's fine. No, it's all good.
Okay, that's another issue. However, it is a sisters book.
Yes.
Adeptus Sororitas.
Yes.
Very cool. I know nothing about the book. Absolutely nothing. I don't know if you're more in the know, if it's like a sequel or something.
I don't believe so, but I know it's for one of the factions. I think it's not Armada Lady because that's the one I collect. It's the Sacred Rose, I think. Let me just double check for a second. Yeah, so I'm fairly certain it's about this hero from the Sacred Rose, that order, and it seems kind of interesting. I've read some of the sisters' novels and I think they're pretty good. The
Cool.
St. Catherine one was really fun. I enjoyed that a lot.
Cool. Well, however, Games Workshop is releasing, they've done this 1 or 2 times so far, a miniature.
Yes.
Basically to complement the gorgeous cover art of the book in miniature form, and it is an absolutely incredible model.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would love Games Workshop to do more of this, like sequentially, even go back and do more characters. Please do Tarek Torgeddon, finally, please, thank you. But this is a spectacular miniature.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's really funny because so the Sisters release came out and I saw the limited edition Codex cover for Sisters, so I was really excited because I'm like, oh, the Codex was reused, the image was reused, surely the limited edition will be better. It's not at all. So
And
I'm
it's
like,
not even a sister, it's a man in a wheelchair with chainsaws.
it's a penitent engine. I was like, cool, that's another $100 I've saved, I suppose. But then this came out on the weekend and I remember you sent me a message being like, this looks great. I'm like, what are you talking about? Where did you find
I
this?
saw it and went, Jan! Yeah, it's so good. I like the effects of the fire exploding off the sword in sort of like, it's almost its own sort of fleur-de-lis off the sword. It's spectacular.
Yeah, the composition actually is really good, and for once,
because it's based off an art piece, it makes sense.
yeah, exactly. And for once, it's actually shot on an amazing angle. Like the angle is perfect. I also feel like it's one of those models that no matter sort of where you take it from, it's always going to have that angle, which looks really good. So yes, I absolutely want one of these models, but which hopefully I'll be able to get. And I might change a few things to make it Armada Lady, but I'm super excited for this. And again, yeah, it's so good that they've made a character from a different order. I think they've focused a lot on Armada Lady, and Sisters has some really cool different orders, and this is one of them. So,
Yep, you want one, I want one. I think Dave probably wants one. I would love to see if every faction in 40k could get something like this. Just an absolute gorgeous centerpiece. Doesn't even have to be usable, just something that someone can look at and go, that is the, the quintessence of this faction. It's amazing, and again, give us more.
yeah, I don't know if it's just Sisters in particular, but I do feel like they have a range of really stunning model pieces. Like the Hospilita is one of my favorites, as well as Judith, which is, she's on little flying eagle.
Yeah.
Like these are really cool pieces, and I don't know if it's just me because I love Sisters, but I think that their range in terms of miniatures is brilliant. It's also newer too, technically, but I think they've got some really thematic pieces where I feel like, yeah, definitely there's a few armies that are missing that really storytelling piece of miniature, and could do with something like that.
Totally. Yeah, well, let us know if you're interested in this miniature as well, or the idea of getting one for your own faction or army. But until then, I think that's a wrap. There's not much else. There's going to be a lot more news coming up when we get to all the releases. Age of Sigmar is going to go absolutely off, and we'll be super excited about that. But that's about all for today. Until next time, we'll see you then.
Yeah, I gotta get some more of that coffee cow, that coffee cow milk.
I'm just going to lock eyes with you hiding in the corner there.